Hey everyone, hopefully you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter in whichever fashion you're choosing to play it as. And 2024 is officially here, however, Monster Hunter Wilds is still just about a year plus away. And because the long wait is still pending, Ryozo Tsujimoto decided to take to social media to provide us with a New Year's 2024 special message. Not only talking about Monster Hunter Wilds, but also talking about the 20th anniversary celebration event that they will be holding in 2024, and of course also talking about a couple of other things. So in this video, not only do I want to kind of parse over some of the words that he said, which I found to be relatively interesting, but also go over all of the latest news that he decided to provide. I'm not only going to be leaving a link in the description below for their official video, but also their quick blog update as well. This is all in Japanese, so maybe some official translating should be done, and they should post it on their official English page. But first and foremost, of course, for those who may not necessarily know, Ryozo Tsujimoto is the producer of the Monster Hunter series, so this is the person in charge of everything Monster Hunter related, but hopefully you guys already know that. He basically took to social media to kind of give thanks for everything that they had happen well in 2023 and provide a New Year's thank you for everyone, happy wishes and all of that happening for early 2024. Last year we had something similar, but Ryozo Tsujimoto actually spoke with a couple of outlets where he was providing his outlook on 2023, and this is where we ended up getting all the rumors regarding the potential reveal of the next Monster Hunter game happening in September at Tokyo Game Show. So usually what he says in the beginning of the year is a little bit of a precursor as to what the narrative is going to be in 2023 back then, or now 2024 in this year. He basically says he's thankful and he likes to reflect on how the last year went and everything was fine and dandy, essentially. Then they transition over to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds, where he discusses about revealing the game, of course, which is something that they were very excited to be able to do back in 2023. A lot of positive feedback was relieved and received from the entire world, so they're very happy and they're excited for the support and excitement. He mentions that the team is working very deep into the development, working diligently towards the release of Monster Hunter Wilds in 2025, and they are hoping that players are going to have a big good time with it. He announces that the game is planned updates for September 2024, summer of 2024 I should say, where more information is going to be made available regarding the game. This is something that they originally revealed with the actual information post-launch or post-reveal as well, so that's not necessarily any major news. But what we do get a direct confirmation of that is basically we shouldn't expect any major new reveals other than maybe 20th anniversary page updates happening, or maybe developer quotes all the way up until the summer. Now that sucks, since that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be able to get any major big reveals up until then, and the summer is still 4, 5, 6 months away. But at the very least, we are getting something Wilds related later this year for sure. But when it comes to the 20th anniversary, I think this one is the one that's going to get the most attention because, well, basically they are saying that starting in March, they are going to start to celebrate the 20th anniversary. They just recently held a Hunter's Choice Top Monster Award for all of the previous 229 generational monsters that have been made available. Players were able to vote on their top hunter, on their top monster, I should say, and voting has been closed, and the results will be made provided in March of 2024, so in about 2 months from now. And a couple of illustrations for the top 3 monsters will also be made available in March as well. He mentioned specifically that he's excited to find out which monsters will be making it to first place, and that the 20th anniversary website will be updated with more information and new information as we make our way throughout the year, especially before March. So to me, this is where most of the attention should be lying, as we are focusing on the 20th anniversary events that they're going to be hosting this year, and Wilds most likely will be the culmination of said events as we make our way into 2025. Towards the back end of his very quick presentation, Ryozo Tsujimoto talks about the 3 active quote-unquote Monster Hunter games. He talks about Monster Hunter World Iceborne. He talks about Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and of course Monster Hunter Now. When it comes to World, Rise, and Now, he specifically just talks about the sales figures, where World has now reached north of 23 million copies. I'm assuming that also involves Iceborne, but that's a weird funky number to not mention if you're not saying Iceborne. But essentially the base version of the game, which seems to be what they're counting here, is 23 million for World. Rise is up to 13 million, which I actually thought it was up to 16 millions back in September. So I'm not sure where they're getting 13 from, but yeah, I guess the numbers went down somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but okay. And they did specifically mention that Monster Hunter Now has surpassed north of 10 million downloads. Now you would imagine, let me be a little bit critical here, you would imagine that if Monster Hunter Now is doing 10 million of active users, which is not, it's saying, they're saying downloaded, that doesn't mean active users. If it had 10 million, you would expect Monster Hunter Now to have a little bit more buzz or get a little bit more love, but it certainly hasn't. So it would be interesting to see just going forward how it is that they choose to handle Monster Hunter Now's potential next updates coming in March and April, since we already know about those. I cover those in a separate video. Since usually you would imagine the more downloads and the more active users means more involvement and more budget, but that doesn't necessarily seem to be happening as of right now, unless again they decide to both do the same thing that I kind of talked about at the beginning of I believe when Monster Hunter Now was originally revealed, which my expectations were this is gonna be their filler gap game. Regardless of how well Monster Hunter Now does, it will be the filler gap game between Sunbreak and Wilds. So it doesn't matter if that game does 1 million people or 50 million people. They'll still keep it alive, they'll support it, and then as we get closer to Wilds, they'll shut it down and call it a day. Successful or not, it doesn't really matter. It was just a stopgap game until the next mainline one. That seems to be the way that they're approaching with it, which is interesting nonetheless. You would imagine you don't want to put out a mobile game to die, especially of one of this type, but it seems to be what it is. Ultimately though, Ryozo Tsujimoto is very happy. He's grateful that everyone is playing the Monster Hunter games. They're still mentioning in the video that they're gonna keep us updated with updates in 2024, but nothing really specific. Again, summer for Wilds, which is what we should be expecting. 20th anniversary happening throughout 2024, and then hopefully something with Now in April or March if that major update is going to actually be bigger than it's supposed to be, or whatever they choose to do. But that's about all the information I have for you guys today regarding Ryozo Tsujimoto's special message for 2024 as he recaps 23 and talks about the outlook in 24. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.